The following broadcast of the Maui Chamber of Commerce's Business Matters was originally broadcast on November 1st, 2022.
It's time now for Business Matters. And now here's your host, Pam Tumpap.
Hey, Gary, aloha, and good morning, everybody. This is the Maui Chamber of Commerce Business Matters radio show, sponsored by Mokulele Airlines. I'm your host, Pamela Tumpap, president of the Chamber, and today we're going to talk with Scott Hopkins of Feed My Sheep, an outstanding nonprofit, and learn more about their programs. We're going to review Dave DeLeon's thoughts on the charter amendments that are on the ballot this election. I know everybody's wondering where to go on this and trying to read up and understand more. So we're going to recover those thoughts and, again, let everybody know about the upcoming Made in Maui County Festival live at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center. Again, this weekend, with tickets on sale at Maui.org for November 4th, the exclusive shopping day, and November 5th, the big festival day. But we'll tell you more about that shortly. I'd like to welcome Scott Hopkins, the executive director of Feed My Sheep, a nonprofit mobile food pantry founded on Maui in 1999 by Joyce Kawakami. Feed My Sheep provides food for Maui households in poverty or at risk of poverty to reverse the risk of poor nutrition and aid in the recovery of the friends they serve. Feed My Sheep doesn't have clients. They only have friends. Scott discovered a passion for helping people in need through ministries in economically challenged neighborhoods of Southwest Michigan. And in 2007, Scott moved to Maui to pursue a career in social justice, where he found Feed My Sheep and also found his wife, Brooke, a fellow volunteer in the organization. Scott connected his passions for ministry to the work of the organization and has been doing this throughout its history and was named executive director of the organization in 2020. Aloha, Scott, and good morning.
Good morning, Pam, and thank you so much for having me on this November 1st.
Well, November is always a very big month for Feed My Sheep. Tell us about what you've got going on this month.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this month, Feed My Sheep will be doing, it's going to be at its most connected with the kind of will and the excitement of the community. This is a time of year where Maui is very active in taking care of its needy households. And so we have our mobile food pantry, which allows us to provide food for the families that we serve in advance of the holidays like Thanksgiving. So we're going to be providing food distributions just like we do every single week, but on November 17th, 18th, and the 19th, we're going to make it a full blowout, exciting experience where we provide as much as we can for these households to actually have 2 weeks' worth of food and to also be able to provide specifically Thanksgiving meals. So in addition to that, we have our Homeless Awareness Week that we will participate in connection with the Maui Homeless Alliance. In November 17th, you'll know a little bit about this. We also have the Maui Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours event, where we're going to be providing a lovely evening from 5 to 7 for Chamber of Commerce members and their guests to come experience the holiday season themselves with us, to hear about what we do, and to see our relatively new campus firsthand and hear about some of the visions we have for doing an even more efficient job of serving the needs of the Maui community.
You know, a lot of people don't know about your new location, and tell them about how long you've been there and the facility. So if they're not able to come to the business after hours through the chamber, they can kind of get a sense about your new canvas over there.
Excellent, yes. So we are at the far end of Old Punane Avenue, which is deep in the heart of the Punane Town Sugar Mill area. The actual building we occupy is formerly the Rose of Sharon Church. And the building served as a church, but has also served as a warehouse, which meant it was the perfect fit for us. We have a lot of food that we need to bring in, sort, and redistribute, and we have storage facilities on site. So we have a couple acres of places to keep our trucks, warehousing, shipping containers, offices. But we have an additional 2 acres that we are on right now that is perfect agricultural land, and we are working on a vision of how we can turn that into an opportunity for us to have not only a sustainable source of fresh produce that we actually grow ourselves, but also to invite some of our friends who are looking for job skills to come in and practice farming with us. That is a long-term vision. We're working on that right now, but we have been praying for opportunities to do something like this for most of the time I've been with the organization.
Yeah. And really, Feed My Sheep's vision has always been very broad in really looking at how to, it started with just providing people food, and not just for a day or a meal, really sustaining them with food for a whole week. So to know that they're gearing up and you're getting double the food, the friends are going to get double the food that they need, so they don't have to worry about their holiday meal. That's so exciting, and such an important time over the holidays when everybody's being thankful. This is a great time where you too can, for our listening audience, you can contribute. Help Feed My Sheep put, holiday meals on people's tables for not just 1 or 2, but the whole family. There's enough food for the whole family, and now not for 1 week, but 2 weeks. And it really, the joy that it brings people to not have to worry where their next meal is coming from or go from, place to place, from meal to meal. It's really a wonderful organization. In full disclosure, I am involved and sit on the board as well. But I really, when you see the mission and you look at what their overhead cost is and their administrative rate and how low it is, you know that when you're contributing to Feed My Sheep, whether it's food or, your hard-earned money, you know that it's really going to truly help people. Scott, can you give me an overhead rate? I know you guys are always working on that.
Yeah, our current rate is still close to 3% for the administrative costs versus about 97% for program costs. So
wow.
Every dollar that goes to us goes towards making the program work. I'm sorry, I'm slightly exaggerating. It's a little bit hyperbole, but yeah, we make sure that as much as possible is going to actually feeding people in need. That is, getting the staff in the right place with the trucks that we do have to fuel. It is taking care of the cost of keeping food fresh in our refrigeration facilities. But it is also actually getting food and getting it to the location where it is handled by volunteers. We're really dependent on volunteers to make our organization not only really efficient, but also connected to the community and to give a friendly face to it. Because when you're in need, it can be overwhelming and intimidating to come to a food line. So we are really excited that our volunteers have a common vision with us, and they understand what it's like in a lot of cases to have been in the shoes of someone who's in need. And so that compassion creates a very safe environment for someone to come and get that food week after week and know that we also offer a listening ear, we offer prayer so that they are supported in more and more ways, not just getting a box of food and running, but having a moment to slow down and know that someone does care how they're doing and is keeping track that they are okay.
Yeah, it really is a program that is there for people in body, mind, and spirit. And so if you want to volunteer and you want to be a part of changing people's lives and helping them in so many big ways, Feed My Sheep is a great place to get involved. Let's talk a little bit. At the end, I want to make sure that we tell everybody how they can get involved and how they can give gifts of food, time, or their treasure. But let's talk a little bit about the Maui Homeless Alliance and your involvement in the Maui Homeless Alliance and the difference they're making as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Maui Homeless Alliance is a collection of nonprofits like us that have different connection points with the homeless on Maui. We serve them food. A lot of these organizations are actually providing housing for the individuals in need. And I think there's a misperception that no work is being done, but there are a number of organizations together that are being very intelligent and efficient about working on chronic homelessness. making sure that people who have not only homelessness but other issues that make homelessness worse, they work on getting them wraparound services. And they're working on a program called Housing First, which does not put barriers to housing, but brings someone into a housing situation and surrounds them with the care that they need, whether it might be mental health, nutrition assistance, job, education, and they will allow a stable housing environment for someone to recover and thrive.
Yeah. In the past, there have been, and still today, there are so many programs where people who are homeless go in, and some of them are not ready to be in programs or don't want to be, but there are many who do. And one of the challenges we find is that they can get in a program, but some of them are limited. And so then they can get in and start to get some help, and then they get out, or maybe they get out because of their situation. Or there might be a timeline on the program, and then they kind of have to move on to help the next person in need. So it's this ongoing kind of cycle of trying to find solutions, and it's a big challenge. But I know that the Homeless Alliance is really uniting, and that there are people there really also looking at how we can give people a roof over their head. We just need to give people some basic options. And we're making some out-of-the-box solutions right now, like the parking lot, but which the Chamber supported. It wasn't an ideal situation, but it's better than people being moved in the middle of the night or ticketed if their car isn't properly registered or licensed or that sort of thing. But it's time that we really start finding housing for our homeless.
I agree, because that is, as I'm serving our friends, one of my biggest frustrations is I do have food for them, but I don't have in my back pocket a place that they can stay. I'd let them all stay at my house if I could, but we just can't pull that off. So we're trying to figure out a solution that will actually make a long-term impact on this problem.
Right. And the Chamber is here to help. It is something that housing is a top priority for us, and it's really housing for all is a top priority for us. And we certainly want to take care of everybody from the homeless to our low-income families to the working folks. We just need to get housing, and we can do it. Everybody talks about it being a top priority, so I want to give everybody hope. This election, this has been a lot of talk about housing. So it's upon us to be willing to serve, to be willing to remind people and hold people accountable for what's been said and the priorities they said they set, to make sure that we quickly and swiftly move forward with housing for all. It's time. We're woefully behind. And if we want a health industry, which we talk about health and wellness as a great economic driver for diversification, you can't do that when you have such a huge homeless problem and when you've got people with significant mental health issues that aren't getting addressed. So we can lead, and I think that we all need to work together to do that. So, Scott, tell people how they can get involved in Feed My Sheep.
Well, I'll start with our phone number. You can call us up, and I'd be happy to talk to you at 808-872-9100. And we can answer your questions, because I'm sure you have ideas, but you're not sure if it fits us. Maybe we can even help you find another organization that is doing exactly what you're looking for. But when it comes to the mobile food pantries, both preparing the food at our headquarters in Punene and going out to Lahaina, Happy Valley, Kahului, and Kihei every week, we have opportunities for you to come and get involved. Now, I can do that over the phone with you, but some people like to do this kind of stuff online, and there is a website. It's handsonmaui.com, and all one word, by the way. That is actually a county-run website that covers 130 different Maui organizations that have an opportunity to volunteer. But you can go on that website, find Feed My Sheep, you can become a fan of us, and you will get alerts of when new opportunities are available, like the ones coming up this month. And you can sign up for you, for your family, for your business. We have there are group options, there's individual options, and you can connect with us through that, manage your own experience, and get out there and volunteer.
That's awesome. And now you said fans, F-A-N-S?
Yeah, it's kind of like if you were to like something on Facebook, you will be able to click a little button, and you will be following Feed My Sheep's progress as we release new opportunities and make changes.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. And the organization's website?
It is feedmysheepmaui.com is our website, and there you'll find links to everything that I've mentioned. So, yeah, Feed My Sheep, don't forget the Maui.com.
Awesome. Scott, thank you so much for being on the show this morning, for giving us an update on Feed My Sheep and the wonderful things that you're working on, and your vision. It's a big vision to take our friends, not only to give them food, but give them workforce skills and engage them in farming and growing the food that they not only get to eat, but then can share with others. We're so excited about all you're doing and just truly appreciate the work of the organization. Thank
you so much, Pam. I appreciate this chance.
Our pleasure. Well, you have a wonderful day.
You too. Aloha.
Aloha. We're going to be right back after a brief message on the Mokulele Airlines.
Mokulele Airlines operates the largest commuter airline hub in the country, right here in Kahului. Fly Mokulele from Kahului to Molokai, Lanai, Hana, Waimea, Kona, and now Hilo. Mokulele also operates the only flights between Kapalua and Honolulu. There is never a middle seat on Mokulele, has a window and aisle. Visit mokuleleairlines.com and take your next flight from the newly renovated Mokulele Terminal.
All right, and we are back. We are going to hear from Dave DeLeon. We are going to reshare some of his comments having served on this year's Charter Commission. Dave DeLeon was involved with the County of Maui for 40 years, working for two different administrations, and he served on the last two charter commissions. While he ran unsuccessfully for county council this year, he ran because he really wanted to make a positive difference, but he was one of the wonderful people who served throughout the whole charter commission process and has been sharing his thoughts with us. So we're going to reshare those with you as everybody prepares their ballots. Enjoy Dave's Charter Commission comments.
Which ones would you like to start with today?
There's some really tricky ones. I think that the voters will be challenged by. I think we should try to address those. And I'm thinking of number 2, EV resources. Number 9, the police commission's requirement to report to the police chief's requirement to report to the police commission, and number 10, the creation of an independent nomination board. Each one of those guys are real humdingers, so we need to take a deep breath and try to jump into those, I think.
I agree with you. Let's start. Let's start with number 2.
Number 2 is the creation of a new department of OEV resources, and it also includes the proposal also includes creating a dynamic where we have a bilingual government that is English and Native Hawaiian. The OEV resources, the OEV, the word itself, is a tricky one for non-native speakers. For a lot of us, it was the first time we've actually come across it because it's not common in our everyday diction. And it basically means native, as in Native Hawaiian culture. So all things related to the Hawaiian culture. The concept for this department is to address all issues related to the Native Hawaiian language and culture that involve the county government. That's like from making signage and make sure the language is correct on signs and or other uses. It's also it goes all the way out to land use issues, declaring certain properties to be culturally significant and maybe not eligible for development. So it's a wide-stretching thing. There was very little discussion about this proposal. It came before the commission at the very last moment of the commission's deliberations. How much of a bilingual government are we talking about, and how that would affect the operation of the government? It's not really clear. One little wag told me the other day that, well, Maui County already has a hard time operating with just one language.
And it makes me wonder, again, all of the publications, all of the printing, all of the press releases.
I don't think we're talking about all that. I think that'd be so extreme that would tie the government in a knot in a moment. But it's going to start going in that direction, and there's also going to be the problem of are you going to have less of a knowledge of what's going on if you don't know the Hawaiian language?
Right.
It's going to be a tipping point where not native Hawaiian speakers are going to be at a disadvantage. We don't know that, but it's something that's worthy of a discussion, though, and how that's going to work. And I don't want to get into all the negative sides of that. I just want to to throw those issues out there. And the positive is reinforcing the development of the language and giving it a place to develop. So we also have a Cultural Resources Commission that exists in Maui County. It used to be called the Historic Commission and became much more Hawaiian related. And it was the place where everything on these type of topics generally ends up in Maui County government, the Cultural Resources Commission. There's no decision how this new body relates to that. The Cultural Resources Commission...
We asked that question a lot.
Yeah, the Cultural Resources Commission will not come under this department. It's under the Planning Department. So we could have situations where we have two different opinions coming out on the same topic, which could be tricky. But I think that was a detail that needed to be pinned down, and it was difficult because the Cultural Resources deals with other things than just Native Hawaiian issues. So it gets a little trickier that way. So we're going to have a department and a commission independent of each other, so that could be dealing with these issues. The word itself, Oiwi, appears to be not generally well known to non-native speakers, and that it'll be interesting to see how folks react to it when they see it on the ballot. So the question seems to be the questions of voters seems to be: is it appropriate for Maui County to invest deeper in its Hawaiian cultural roots and become a bigger part of the movement to restore the Hawaiian culture? Is that a primary mission of the Maui County government? So that's basically the question that this proposal raises.
Let me ask you something, because that was one of I think that is, let me do a quick scan here. I believe that proposal is the proposal that is on the ballot that's going to cost us the most.
No. Yet, well, it's going to cost money, yes, because it's a new department. And I don't know whether the auditor got it right with that number, because they're going to have, this is going to be a jobs program for Native Hawaiian speakers. So we're going to have a team of interpreters working out of this department to be able to handle requests from native speakers who want to be able to testify, and then somebody else to translate. So it's I'll keep my thoughts about that to myself, but that's just the reality of there is the commission itself had an issue with the use of the Hawaiian motto. There was an effort by some to say, no, you can't translate that because its meaning's too deep to be translated. Well, we got a language that's too deep to be translated, then we're in trouble for translation and bilingualism. But it turned out that there is an official state translation of translation of the motto, and it's in the state law. So we went with that.
I was going to say, I thought the motto was translated, so that's good. Yeah, it's in state law. So that's interesting, though, and again, it also relates to some of the work that I've been looking at and learning about, which is the Aloha Spirit, and again, the struggle, given the breadth of what the Aloha Spirit means, as many cultural experts tried to come together to help define it, which is also now defined in state law by Anti-Tilahi Paki, but it was a thing that, again, was such a big challenge to figure out given the breadth of the language and the deeper meaning, how do you come together and get everybody to coalesce on
well, I think we're going to have some challenges for meetings because some of the interpreters are more political minded than others, and they'll have their bent they'll want to have on translations.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. So, and actually, I agree with you. It wasn't the most expensive because, of course, when we get to water under Proposal 12, that's an unknown cost, so we have no idea.
We have no idea. That one's going to be that's potentially off the charts.
Yeah, that one's going to be staggering. But it was surprising to hear, and that's why, again, as I was thinking, okay, $400,000, and we're still grappling with what the definition is, that they're going to, to what degree are they going to address this?
Maybe that 400,000 is the bottom line, and it depends where the county council wants to go from there.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that the chairman of the county council is an advocate of the language development, and this proposal will have come from folks related to her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how far we go and how we do that. But that's a proposal that's, as you said, came last minute. We didn't have a lot of details on it. We had a lot of confusion. I know the chamber was asking, again, how is this different from the different or the same from the Cultural Resources Commission, and how do we look at them and see them working together? And we didn't really get a lot of data on that.
Well, the council wrestled with it as well, and they weren't able to come up with a solution either. So all the proposals go to the county council. All the charter commission's proposals are reviewed and commented on by the county council, and the county council can offer alternatives. So I think the voters need to understand that when they challenge number 9 and number 10 on this list, because they're going to wonder why there's two proposals sitting there, why they have a choice in this particular case, and that's because the council offered alternatives to what the commission offered, and the commission did not acquiesce to the council's proposal. So we were left with two proposals on the table. In the case of number 9, the choices. Either choice is probably going to be fine. There's not a major differential between a number. Basically, the police commission asked for this proposal, I believe, and basically requires that when the police chief does not agree with a position taken by the police commission, maybe say in terms of discipline or some other issue, then the chief is required to report to the send a report in writing, setting out the findings why he did not agree with the commission's report, so the difference between these two proposals is one is the Charter Commission one says he has to do that in all circumstances, and the second part, I think, which is a better one, is from the council, which says he only has to make that report if the commission so deems it wants one. So for every anything, there would not have to be a report issued, but stuff that the commission can put easily to say, and we want to have it here back if you have any differences on this. And to me, just one of these would have been fine. I don't know why we have to have this kind of set up on this charter proposal to the voters, but we do. So that's why they're like that. I was watching a show and participating in a meeting where everybody was saying, at a certain point, you just have to make the tough call, make one choice. Right. Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough for the voters as it is because they're having to choose and do a lot of homework to understand this. And the more options we give, that's the whole point of the Charter Commission, is to come up. We do it every 10 years, and it's one of the things that you and so many others spend a great deal of time on, which is to try and hone this down and get to address the issues that are critical issues and things that we're really are worthy of charter commission changes as well. Or not charter commission, but charter changes. But it is confusing, and so when you look at it and when you read some of the things that are covering it, even in the paper as they're talking about this, they're putting it into dollar amounts. Now when you look at Proposal 9 and 9A, and there's different dollar amounts on this, you're seeing dollar amounts not correlated with the language on the charter amendment. So it's hard to understand. Okay, so that obviously if the chief has to do it all the time, doesn't agree, and has to do it all the time, we're talking about $100,000. And if it's only on more Manini items, then maybe it's going to cost us less than $25K. But as we're getting pieces and parts that are that are published separately.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not all coalesced.
It's harder to understand.
Yeah, it's not coalesced. The commission's list of proposals and the councils are not even coalesced. So they're coming at the voters from two different angles. And I've been talking to people who are pretty astute, who are actually putting out information to their friends, saying, "Here's the 11 proposals." I said, "Well, wait a minute. There's 2 more." And they go, "What?"
Right.
Because it's the process has not been clear, and it hasn't been amendable to the two sides working together on it, I guess. I don't know why it's impossible to put the councils. Well, the commission actually took the effort to do an articulation of why of the proposal. The council did not. Theirs is in a resolution that is very long and very deep, and it's not written for the average voter. So at least in number 12, that is, it goes on for pages. So it's not that accessible, and it's hard for anybody in the bureaucracy just to boil that down for the council without the council agreeing, because then you're opening yourself up to a political minefield. So
that's the challenge.
So and I don't know if most people weren't conscious of this, but we had a very activist charter commission, and this last item, number 10. Not the last item, but I mean the item number 10 is it's pretty indicative of that. The original concept I kind of agreed with, and I was actually supporting it, and that was to set up a nomination board for boards and commissions nominations. When the idea was to help the mayor recruit and get nominees from the different districts, so that you have a better spread of representation and a better knowledge of who you're appointing, and better recruitment, because recruitment's got to be a problem for the county. Folks aren't signing up for boards and commissions like they used to on their own. It takes more than a press release to get them there. So this is supposed to be a nine-body board with one person coming from every council district. They're spreading out, the connections with the community so that you'd have a deeper penetration. And but there was also another proposal to have another nomination board for the chief appointed officers of the counties, like the corporation counsel, the prosecuting attorney, the county clerk, and the auditor. And that separate entity was going to have a body of experts, like mainly attorneys, who would review the applicants and make their best recommendation to the mayor. That body would have been appointed by the mayor and then confirmed by the council. The county council's proposal flipped this on, and what happened was, I'm sorry, I'm skipping a page here. So at the very end, that second body was scrapped. The expert panel was scrapped, but the responsibility for nominating these high-end often legal-based experts to run our government, parts of our government, very important positions. The chief attorney, chief civil attorney, the prosecutor who chases down, makes sure he also runs the department that keeps us safe from criminals running around in our community. These are very high-end positions and require good scrutiny. And traditionally, the mayor makes that appointment by himself. That original body would have made that recommendation using a body of experts. Now we have it. We've combined it with this boards and commissions body, which does not have any kind of expertise at all required. You just have to live in a district. There's no guarantee that any of this is. You're going to have people who have the qualifications to be able to make that recommendation to the mayor, and it's going to be based on knowledge and ability of the board, because the board is not set up that way. It's only for boards and commissions, which are laymen without any expertise. So that in itself, both proposals continues with that mindset. The county council complicated it a little bit more by increasing it to an 11-member board, so that the council would appoint 9 of the members. The mayor would get to appoint 2. Now, this is the screening body now. So the council gets to be on the front end of the screening. The mayor makes his nomination, and then at the very end, they get to confirm that nomination. So they have control at the front and the end of the process. This is an administrative process. It's not a legislative process. And so the council really doesn't have a responsibility here under the traditional way we do government in the United States. And for the council to insert itself like that, really kind of like, to me, was a poison pill. It was like, and the council did something I thought what made sense was they dropped the auditor and the county clerk out of this concept. That those 2 should be appointed by the council as it is now. I'm fine with that. But for the council to get itself inserted by appointing their people to the front, and then have confirmation power at the end, means the mayor really doesn't get to pick his corporation council. And we have a body of non-experts picking our prosecutor, which makes me heebie-jeebie. It's really not a good concept. If this had stayed with just boards and commissions, I would have supported it, but I really think that the voters should reject both of these proposals because the fundamental function of that they're proposing is wrong. It's not set up for. I mean, I think if the commission had some more time to wrestle with this, just a little bit more time, we might have worked out
some of the
problem.
things.
But at the end of our process, we were on a timetable. We were running really fast and hard. At one point, this commission was making decisions every 15 minutes. I mean,
I know it was a
real fire hose. So, I think if we had more time to wrestle with this would look differently, because this is not just half baked; it's poorly baked, and it's not you can't rescue it the way it is. So I really recommend that this is important that the voters reject number 10.
I agree with that. I concur. And again, like you said, we've changed the dynamic such that, again, these are such important positions. And aside from the power grab that we've inserted in there, there's also the challenge where you had a body that of experts that could have really given us some great analysis on the different candidates and help to ferret that out in the public, have a great review. And by taking that out, we've got problems.
I want to let you know that there are some updates. The county has now put a button on the website and at the Maui Charter Commission website. So when you go there, you'll find the official voter guide very easily now. It just jumps right out at you. I think there's been some pushback on the Department of Housing. Folks are pointing to the cost that was put out by the auditor, which was $2 million. That's a guesstimate, but if you stop and look at that cost of $2 million. That's actually the price of 2 medium-priced houses in Maui County.
Yeah.
And we're short an estimated 100,000 units.
Yeah.
So if we don't make an investment of that nature, then we're being short-sighted. And
I agree. That's one of the ones that, again, we had to think long and hard. The Chamber wants to see reasonable-sized government, and any time we look at forming a new department, we want to understand what it's going to cost, and we want to understand the rationale for that, and, really, appreciate at least that there's a solid estimate to look at, because often proposals go forward without us understanding the value and the cost to do that. But in this case, the Chamber really, our members and the whole community, the business community and the community at large is crying out for housing, and it's a crisis state to the point that we're looking at letting people sleep in cars on, community lots.
And celebrating it, that's a great thing.
Yeah. I mean, we need to, as you say, make an investment and really address this problem.
The one analogy I have is us not having our own housing department, a standalone housing department. It would be like a Northern California community not having a fire department.
Oh yeah, good point. How scary is that?
Yeah, I mean,
really, I love the fire analogy because, if we had a fire and if every time we thought about housing we saw the symbol of a fire, we'd be acting very differently.
There's one other thought I wanted to bring up while we have a little bit of time to talk, and that is when the voters approached this, there's some confusion in the public about what a blank vote means on this. If you do not vote on it. And what it means is you didn't participate. It's not a yes, it's not a no. In certain parameters in the past, and I can't put my hand on exactly when that was, it was believed that a blank vote was a no vote, which means you're voting negative by leaving it blank. That's not the case in this matter. So if you leave it blank, then you're giving more power to those people who do participate.
Right.
So if you have any kind of queasiness about or sense of support for any one of these proposals, then the better step would be to actually take a positive vote one way or the other.
All right. Thanks to Dave DeLeon for talking with Pam about the charter amendments. But now I think Pam would like to talk to you about a big event going on this weekend. Hang on one second. Hello, Pam. I hear you got something going on this weekend.
Oh, we are so excited about this weekend. I can't tell you. We are thrilled to be back live for the 9th annual Hawaiian Airlines Made in Maui County Festival at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center. It really would not be possible without the tremendous support of Maui County, our mayor, the Office of Economic Development, our council, our wonderful sponsors. This is Maui County's largest product show. And really, at this show, you will truly find locally made products by companies in Maui County that meet a 51% valuation of that their product is locally made in Hawaii. So we go through an extensive review to make sure that these are quality products made by local hands and hearts, and really everybody will find something on your shopping list. You'll find something for every person that you're thinking of this Christmas or throughout the year, great gifts for birthdays and other special celebrations. And it all begins on November 4th, which is the big festival day, and that day goes from 1:30 to, November 4th is the exclusive shopping day, not the big festival day, the exclusive shopping day from 1:30 to 6 p.m. This is the day when we also have our wholesale buyers and distributors, not regular shopper buyers, but those who buy into stores and retail locations and distributors. They're coming that afternoon, as well as those who want to leisurely shop without the massive crowds and enjoy the opening ceremonies and the reception with great food. So tickets are $50 per person for that. And then on November 5th is the big festival day. And tickets are $7 per person. Children 12 and under are free. This is the day where we attract about 10,000 people. And people line up early because the first 2,000 in the gate will receive a free festival tote. So a big festival day on Saturday, $7 per person. Friday, the exclusive shopping day, $50 per person with leisurely shopping and the opening ceremonies and reception. And you can get those tickets now. They're on sale at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center at mauiarts.org. So you can either go to the box office or buy online. And, of course, in addition to the fabulous products and the vendor demonstrations you're going to get to see on stage, we also have phenomenal entertainment. Kathy Collins is going to be our MC. She is always so much fun. And then we've got great bands that are playing and individuals that are playing. So we're really excited this year to feature Marty Dredd, George Kahumoku Jr., Ahumanu, and Jordan Soon. So it is going to be a great day of celebration, not to mention the phenomenal food trucks. And there's also contests by Hawaiian Airlines and Peisha Hawaii. And if you came in 2019, we did something different. In the past, we used to do different prizes and do prizes that you could win. But we moved over to something new, which people really enjoyed because they got to shop for what they wanted to shop for. And you'll have chances to win what we call festival bucks. So when you come in, there'll be drawing slips in the front gate. You want to make sure as you come in, you get those drawing slips. And throughout the day, we'll be calling winners for festival bucks. And if you don't pick up your festival bucks, if your name is called and you are texted or phoned to say, come to the stage and pick up your festival bucks, and if you don't, it rolls over. So then the next time slot when there's a drawing, the festival bucks can build. So you have many chances to win. You can go to the Hawaiian Airlines. They've got an opportunity to win 120,000 Hawaiian Airlines miles. Peisha Hawaii has a passage certificate. So you can go to the Peisha Hawaii booth in the food court and see them for that contest. And then, of course, there's going to be festival bucks throughout the day. So we're hoping to see the big crowds again. We keep hearing the excitement. People are wanting to come back. We're seeing exclusive shopping day tickets be sold. People are wanting to get in early. They'll also get to see the booth contest and learn about the booth decorating contest, which is always a lot of fun. And it's just going to be a great day. And looking out across the countryside from Pukalani, from the golf course down to Wailuku, it looks like a gorgeous day today. We hope it's a gorgeous day both on Friday and Saturday. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So come early, be ready to shop. Think about it as a way to get all your Christmas shopping done in one day with a lot of different vendors, and truly shop small, shop local, and make a positive difference in our community. We look forward to seeing you there. It's really going to be a spectacular event. And it'll be live streamed, so those who visit us from afar can still watch and participate. So we hope to see you there, and just want to thank everybody for joining us again for Business Matters. It always goes quick, but we hope you've enjoyed the show today, and we hope to see you on Friday or Saturday this weekend. Aloha.